Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Now we welcome you in the new drug today. Another gorgeous day here at the stadium course. First day of actual play. Frank Frangie, Hays Carlyon with you on location. JJ LaSelva back at World Headquarters and a bunch planned on the program for you today. Glad to be with you on the show. All kind of stuff going on on 1010XL today and here in town today. Number one, we're here at the Players. The first day of competition at the Players is today. We'll update you on who's playing well, who's not. I watched a lot of golf today. I've been out on the course most of the day today, so I got a pretty good idea of who's playing well and who's not. We'll certainly give you an idea of how the course is playing as well. So obviously Lucas Glover is the story today. He played extremely well, better than anybody else, and closed fast to lead the pack after one day. He is at 6 under. He shot 66. Camilo Villegas among those at 5 under and still on the golf course. He's at 5 under and he hadn't even played 9 holes yet. So we'll certainly update you on who's playing well and who's not today on the golf course. Glad to be the Players. Also,
the two-time defending champion, leading the Frangie camp, is playing well so far.
May or may not have followed him all day today. Got to number 3, and yes, the fact that he rolled in about a 35-footer on number 3 with me in attendance, yes, that was the good luck charm, and I'll take that. Birdied number 4 to go 2 under. Number 5 had a 7-footer, 7 feet and 2 inches, and I thought it was in the jar, moved at the end and lipped out. Would have been 3 under. Held 2 under till he got to 9. I was just 2 minutes ago. Hays on number 9, where a lot of guys can't. They're all going for it today. But he's playing, by the way, with Schauffele and Rory. Rory goes right just short of the pin. Schauffele pulls it left into the bunker. Scheffler hits last because he was the long driver on the hole. Hits it to about 25 feet in 2. I'm in 2, and right in the middle of the green. He just missed the eagle putt, bro. He missed the eagle putt. It looked like it was tracking just off the lip. Made the birdie, so he is at 3 under with through 9 holes. So we'll update you on our Players too. But what a day of golf, man! What a day of golf, and it's great to be here. And we're glad you're here with us as well as we kind of continue on here. A lot of things to talk about today on the program. We'll talk some Jaguars. You met some of the new Jags. Overall impression?
Oh, I think it was a good day. It was fun to get to hear from several of these guys. It's obviously tough to get all 9 just because they're coming in, they're signing, and then they're pretty much immediately heading back to wherever they're training or wherever they live in the off season. So, but yeah, we got to talk with Jordan Lewis, Patrick McCarry, Eric Murray, Robert Hansey, De'Ami Brown, and Nick Mullins.
Well, that's a pretty good group now.
Yeah, it was 6 of the 9, and it was really good to hear from all of them, and they all had kind of an interesting perspective. Probably the one that stood out to me the most was Hansey, just because he's played not under Liam Cohen as head coach, but he's played under Liam Cohen as offensive coordinator in Tampa Bay, and he kind of told the story. And he did it in a much more eloquent way than I will relay it. But basically talked about, they were not, in terms of their ground game last year, they were not going to be a gap team. And, as Liam got into it with them and worked with them, he realized, well, that is their strength as an offense. And so he tailored it to that, and that became their identity. And Hainsey said that that really stood out to him because a lot of coaches, they don't have that ability to adapt. And we had kind of touched on this before, but again, it's just cool to get it from the player's perspective of what we set out to do. We weren't as good at as this gap thing, and obviously that made a big difference for them in the ground game being so successful. And so that was a cool detail, and it gives you some. Again, with an inexperienced first-time head coach, it gives you at least a sliver of how he approaches, being able to take the talent that he has and then mold his system to fit it.
That's a great point because most coaches, we may not be right about this, but what we tend to think about most coaches is they have their system and you go to play in their system. And they're going to run their system whether you fit it or not. Again, that's kind of a way the media thinks. Maybe we're wrong, but that is how we've always thought about it. And the reality is maybe that's not the case. And so good. That's a good story from Robert Hansey. By the way, he's got to be. He just lost his starting job. All of a sudden, presto, he's got a starting job again, and he's snapping to Trevor Lawrence. I mean, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good win. Think about that. You're the starting center in Tampa Bay. You lose your job because they draft a first rounder. Nothing you did. And I say that. Maybe if you played better, you wouldn't have drafted a first rounder. But you get the point. Nothing you did. And all of a sudden, you wind up in an offense you really know, with a coach you really know, snapping to possibly a generational quarterback. Trevor isn't that yet, but no, certainly the hardware is there to be that. The software is there to be that. So we'll see. So a good world for Robert Hainsey. I guess that's the point.
Without a doubt. And James Gladstone then talked at 2:30, and I wasn't able to stay for that, but it was interesting listening to him because he talked about, Hainsey is a guy who can take the weight off of Trevor at the line of scrimmage because he knows the offense. He can make the line calls. And he said, look, he may have only started one game last year against the Saints, but he said, go back and watch that game and then tell me what you think about this player. He said he plays through the whistle. You can tell, and he really made the most of the limited opportunities he had last year. Obviously, he was a 2-year starter prior to losing his job to Graham Barton. But yeah, it was good to see. And again, the big theme throughout all 6 players is, they have been told we're here to change this culture.
Right.
And, we'll see if they can do it. In De'Ami Brown's case, he just went through that. Dan Quinn shows up in Washington. Jaden Daniels shows up in Washington. They go from being one of the more laughingstock franchises in the league over the last 20 years under Daniel Snyder's ownership to new ownership. New coach, new quarterback, and they stun everybody and have a tremendous year. And he said, so I've seen it happen. It can happen quickly, and hopefully what happened in Washington will happen here with the Jaguars.
Yeah, and by the way, I'll continue to say, and by the Hainsey story is good, and I think I told you this last week or said it on the air last week. He's got that nasty, pissy side, and maybe that's one of the things James Gladstone was talking about. He's got that. He ain't afraid, I'm not saying he's the guy going to be in the middle of a fight, but I do think he's got the testy side that you need.
Well, he's from Pittsburgh, and he went to Notre Dame, so my guess is he's a pretty physical, grit kind of player.
There's some edginess there. Yeah. So it'll be fun, really, to see to watch him. De'Ami Brown, by the way, what was your impression of him? He's my feeling. I think he might be the key not the key to the whole signing class. They signed 9 guys, the free agent class. But if he's what they think, which means an outside deep threat, well, then it really worked.
Well, that would be an amazing pickup. I have doubts about it, just from a purely, production
You
standpoint.
haven't seen it enough.
Haven't seen enough
I get it.
to give him $10 million. But look, they obviously believe, and we talked about it. James Gladstone, he feels like the kind of person that is going to believe in his ability to find hidden gems. I think Liam Cohen, fits that model too. So, I think they're going to trust their evaluation. And even if it's not necessarily somebody that has produced at their last stop, that may not preclude them from being interested in the player. I will give De'Ami Brown credit for this. He had probably the funniest line at any of the presser. It's a 1-year contract. So he was asked about, are you comfortable betting on yourself? And he smiled and he was like, well, who else would I bet on? So
that's a great line.
Yeah. So
that's a great line.
He should be fun, and hopefully they'll be right. I mean, if they're right on him, then boy, you got to tip your hat, because I don't think a lot of people believed around the league that even with a strong postseason, De'Ami Brown, who I don't think has ever had more than like 35 catches in a season, was going to go and get a pretty significant figure. It's just a 1-year deal, but a pretty significant amount of money.
Well, if you're going to change it, if you're going to flip this thing around, if you're going to change it, then by God, you're going to have to go find some guys that are better than the stats and the evidence would tell you. You're going to have to find some guys that your eye tells you more than the evidence tells you. So we'll see. So we'll talk more about that. We'll hear from some of those principles later on in the program. As for the golf, Lucas Glover is at 6. Chandler he shot 66, so he finishes at 6. He's at 6 in the clubhouse. Chandler Phillips, that's not a name, No. He is at 6 under, and he's only played 11 holes.
Wow.
Minwoo Lee and Camilo Villegas, the former Gator.
What a story.
And they're both at 5 under. And again, Minwoo Lee's only played 10 holes. Villegas has just finished 9 holes. And that's pretty good golfing. Now, that's golfing your ball, no question about it. The scores are low today. An awful lot of guys in red numbers, as you imagine. It was very, again, I was on that course most of the day. I shouldn't say that. 10:30 on.
How's the wind been?
Not bad. Not very. And like the wind that I've seen has helped. There's a little wind, like the wind on 9 is straight at their backs. So on a par 5, which you're trying to get there, they're all going for it because the wind's at their back. And but I'm just telling you, Hayes, it's a beautiful day for golf. I could tell you when I started walking around out there's going to be a lot of red numbers. It just had the feel of a day that's going to have a lot of red numbers. As for our picks, let's see what I got here. I got Scheffler at -3.
Oof, that's looking pretty good.
Hang on.
I know Ludwig Aubert
shot 71.
was 1 under, a very solid opening.
And
round.
Morikawa just birdied, so he's 1 under through 9.
So Morikawa 1 under through 9. Oberg 1, and that was Hayes' pick. Oberg 1 under for the day. He shot 71. That was JJ's pick. And Scheffler, who I got stuck with, shot. He is 3 under, and he is on number 10 now. He's got 9 holes to play, so we'll certainly update you on that. All right, a lot of fun stuff today. Lee Smith stops by in just a few minutes to talk about what he thought of day 1. We'll certainly visit with him. Look forward to that. Coming up later on, Greg Coleman stops by, the state of Florida Hall of Fame member, the great punter for the Minnesota Vikings, a former Reigns High player that is so eloquent. He's really taken the lead in that magnificent Bob Hayes track and field meet. The Hayes Invitational is this weekend, and Greg's going to be with us by phone later in the 4 o'clock hour to talk about that. So we're certainly looking forward to that. So a lot of football today, a lot of golf today. We'll touch on some basketball topics. Cooper Flagg got hurt today. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Yeah, that looked bad too. Ankle.
Yeah, they don't think he's coming back for the semis. Why on earth would Duke play him at all before next week?
The only reason you might, if he's okay, is if you're the committee and you're not sure they're going to have him.
You want to show that you can.
You might.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
So even if
that'd be the only reason.
Yeah, because look, if you're the committee and Cooper Flagg, you don't know if Cooper Flagg is going to be available.
You could knock him down to a 2.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it could.
It probably should knock them down to a 2. We've seen it before. Kenyon Martin, the Cincinnati year. He gets injured in a conference tournament, breaks his leg. They go from the overall number 1 to down to the 2 line. So it can happen, but terrible injury today for Flagg. Hopefully he'll be okay.
Yeah, they haven't even totally ruled him out for tomorrow, but he probably won't play tomorrow. I'd hold him out if I was John Shire. We'll see what they do. We'll take a break. Lee Smith joins us in a minute. He's the executive director. He had to be thrilled with the way the day went today. Greg Coleman later on in the hour. A lot to do. Glad you're with us. On this Thursday, as always, brought to you by Stanley Pools. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell & Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
The Players' Championship. Here's a 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Leaderboard update.
The weather has been absolutely beautiful down here at TPC Sawgrass for the 51st playing of the Players' Championship. I'm Max Fink with your Players' Championship update, brought to you by the Deck Guys and Corona Premier. We have 2 guys sitting at 6 under for the top of the leaderboard. The veteran Lucas Glover, who shot a 666, and Chandler Phillips making his way up the leaderboard, who eagled 16, and now he's playing the front, and he just eagled 2. Camilo Villegas, the old Florida Gator, had a 5-birdie front 9 to finish 31. He's right back of Glover and Phillips. Some fan favorites struggled today. 2021 champion Justin Thomas shot 6 over, Max Homa 7 over, and Victor Hovland 8 over. Those guys have been struggling recently. The feature group, Scotty Scheffler is currently 3 under, Xander Schauffele 1 under, and Rory is also 1 under. We'll be back in about 20 minutes or so for your next update, so keep listening right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Summer in Jacksonville. Sun's out, flip-flops on, and whoa! Well, there goes Uncle Bob into the pool again. Protect your pool deck with Don't Slip Deck Coatings of Jacksonville. Their multi-layered slip-resistant coatings keep you on your feet, not on your backside. Durable, stylish, and way cheaper than an ER visit. Don't Slip Deck Coatings even has indoor options so your kitchen floor isn't a skating rink. Call 904-466-1839 for a free quote and follow Don't Slip Jacks on Facebook and Instagram.
Don't miss the Players Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scottie Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Listen up, poker players. March is heating up at all 3 Best Bet locations. The Bad Beat jackpots are now uncapped, soaring to new heights. So don't miss your chance to win big. Plus, get in on the $42,000 weekend windfall, featuring $1,000 high hands every Friday and $500 high hands on Saturdays. And starting March 3rd, the Race to a Race promotion is back. For all the details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
The Mr. Chubby's Bracket Challenge is coming. Following Selection Sunday, go to 1010XL.com, print your bracket, and bring it to any Mr. Chubby's Wings during Live Madness games. Get a free Miller Lite for every game you pick right. Top prize, Saturday passes to Welcome to Rockville.
Ahead, we build platforms for digital business. We help create your platform for digital business by weaving together advances in cloud infrastructure, intelligent operations, and modern applications. Digital business is comprised of 5 pillars. We call them imperatives because they're a must-have, not a nice-to-have. We enterprise cloud, integrated security, scaled DevOps, intelligent operations, and relentless automation. Need help with digital transformation? Ahead. Learn, grow, achieve.
Need the perfect spot to unwind with friends, family, or coworkers? Dart Bar on King Street. Darts, pool, air hockey, foosball, and more. Dart Bar has the games to keep the fun rolling. With 20 taps, 200 plus cans, and plenty of non-alcoholic options. Dart Bar has something for everyone. Plus, they host community events and leagues and can accommodate everything from company happy hours to milestone birthdays. Dart Bar is your go-to place for fun, drinks, and great times, no matter the occasion.
The Jacksonville Icemen are back at home this Friday and Saturday evening at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Join us Friday as the Icemen take on the Orlando Solar Bears for Wizards Night, presented by Florida Department of Health. Come out and wear your house colors. Then on Saturday, the Icemen close out their home set against the Savannah Ghost Pirates. Game time at 7. Tickets available on Ticketmaster or by calling 904-602-BUCK. Iceman hockey is hashtag Frozen Frenzy.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS, right here in Jacksonville, is the only hair transplant clinic in the country that offers multi-unit hair grafting, FUE neograft hair transplants, and the 45-minute effective PRP treatments.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
Thank you, IHRS. IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Schedule a free evaluation and find out how to grow your hair back and keep the hair you have. Call 904-777-IHRS. Take the first step to restoring your hair today. Visit hairforme.com.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS has been restoring hair for men and women for over 30 years.
Call now for a free in-person or virtual evaluation. 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com.
Duck Duck Air Conditioning is here to save the day with a free AC system inspection. Call now, 904-862-6769. Duck Duck Air Conditioning, duckduckac.com. Any required repairs are not included in the inspection.
Warm weather means the beach, fishing, golf, and more. Make sure to drop into Daly's and grab a cold case to go. From Bud Light to their seltzer, from Mick Ultra to Modelo, or your favorite crafts like Old City or Sweetwater. Grab and go at your local Daly's.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
Thank you.
Lee Smith coming with Packet Goods. Lee, we're going to put you over here right in this one so we can get you in the picture there. How are you?
Doing fantastic.
What a day today.
It is.
What a
beautiful.
what a glorious day today. It was. I thought today, and we've been talking about it all week long, obviously, but man, oh man, Lee, I thought today was fantastic. Lee Smith, the executive director of the Players Championship, joins us now. How'd you feel? How'd you feel about big picture?
It's beautiful.
Everything went
Beautiful. No, the weather a little calm. This morning, which as we said yesterday, tends to get some low numbers, some scoring early on Thursday. Now remember that those folks that played in the calm on Thursday morning will have to play Friday afternoon, which looks like there's going to be a little bit of breeze. Tomorrow looks like about the exact same today. So the folks that are playing afternoon, morning, if you can get a decent score this afternoon, you'll have the opportunity to go low tomorrow when it's a little calmer.
I say this a lot, and we all say this, and you're in the business, but golfers like us, hack golfers who come out here, I don't think I tell people all the time, I hope you can come out here and watch the golfers, because you can't imagine how good they are. I mean, on TV, it doesn't do it justice. Does that make sense?
No.
You come out here, gosh, the shots they hit.
Well, I think also TV doesn't do a golf course justice either.
Agreed.
From an undulation and you take a look at those 3 and 4 footers that maybe you pick up or you rake in your home Saturday game.
That's right.
Now all of a sudden you add stimp meter of 13 and all of a sudden now those putts, you're starting them outside the hole. They're much more difficult 3-footers. So no, you're exactly right. I think you for core golf fans, the opportunity to come out and really see up close and personal, it's amazing. And if you've had the luck or the experience to play with a tour player and watch them up close and personal, it's a level above no other.
I told you, and I told you in my championship, my media championship, my Golden Typewriter media championship.
I walked right into that.
Yeah, you did.
Hayes, I walked right into that.
Thank you for doing that. But now that I've gotten that out of the way, the true part of the story is, I played with these guys who had played on the Argentinian tour. It was like an out of world. I'm not kidding. It was out of body experience for me. And these guys are way better than that.
Yeah.
I mean, just you know what I mean, Lee?
Yeah, those guys admit that we couldn't make it.
Right.
And they're that good.
And it was out of body watching how they hit it. So, but I'm watching these guys today. It was a great day of golf.
Without a doubt, Lucas Glover. We talk about how democratic this course is. What a story! And we're just one round in. I mean, after today, when the final shot is hit, we'll be 25% through. But what a story! Won obviously the 2009 U.S. Open. But 45 years old, and what an incredible story to be 6 under after his first day.
Absolutely, like as you say, democratic or fits no one, but or favors no one. But I certainly think somebody that is a ball striker like Lucas Glover, this place fits him. Just because if he gets that putter rolling, he can win anywhere, and he can beat any level of field. So. To get off to a good start again Thursday morning, have to play in the afternoon tomorrow, so we'll see how the putter stays heated overnight, those types of things. But certainly a great story for Lucas and a golf course that fits him well.
Forgive me, I should know this. Is he at 45 years old? Is he the oldest player in the field?
I don't know that. No.
Okay.
Because the senior player champion, will be here. Yeah, I think Jerry is here.
Okay.
Chandler Phillips, I don't know. He is at 6. Camilo Villegas, we all know. All the Florida people know him. He is at 5. I guess that shows that there's just so many good players out here, right? I mean, you could look now. We'll see if these guys are there on Sunday. I get it.
Yeah.
But I mean, for now, it's a lot of guys that I didn't know very well. Steven Jaeger, I didn't know. Bud Cauley's from here. A lot of names. Playing really well.
Steven, I saw just before I walked over, I saw that Chandler Phillips holed out for eagle on 11. or pitched in for Eagle on 11 to get to 6.
Right.
I heard on the telecast the guys talking about Camilo in the fact that he still fits into the same pants that he did 25 years
and he
ago.
Probably does the look at the green and bend over.
Yeah,
and all
the
that.
Spider-Man. Yeah, he can still do that. And then Steven Yeager has really been had a really great start to the year. He has had, I want to say, at least a couple of top 5, top 10 finishes early on in the year. So, like I said, you always one round is great, but when you have a 144 player field, you really don't get into net neutral until after. You've started on the front 9 and the back 9 once, and after you've played in the morning and the afternoon once, you can really judge it better that way.
Absolutely. Scheffler is maybe the closest thing that we've seen on tour since Prime Tiger. And Tiger used to sort of, first round, it was just sort of, okay, solid round to start, let's get our bearings, and then he'd certainly blitz the field Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday would almost be a cruise in. Scheffler at 3 under, at least last that we saw.
And lipped, and I walked with
just
him.
bogeyed 10.
Oh, he did?
Okay. But even if he comes in at 2, while some may be disappointed, his fans may be a little disappointed in that. But, I mean, he to me seems like what he's done so far is position himself where he needs to be to make that big run Friday, Saturday, and on his way to a potential three-peat.
Absolutely. Playing with Rory. Rory's 2 after 10, 2 under after 10 also. They're heading into par 5 11th, which you would probably figure
get one
the opportunity. They're going to birdie that half the time maybe at this stage. Then you go into a short par 4 12th. I don't think it's drivable today, but short par 4 12, so, and then into a tough stretch of holes, and then 16, 17, 18. So, certainly easy to fathom that they could end up at 2 or 3 or 4, and then heading into tomorrow morning. No, I exactly right. You're just positioning yourself and playing a little rope-a-dope with the golf course, and at the end of the day, like Scotty shot 64 last year, but they would all go, if I could shoot 68, 68, 68, 68. Neither of those 4 would be the best round of the day. But at the end of the tournament, I'm 16 under. I'll take my chances.
Absolutely.
I walked with Scheffler first 9. He went out in 33, 3 under, obviously. Lee, he lipped out a birdie on 7. I mean, not 7, on 5. He lipped it. I mean, he hit it to 7 feet, and just lipped it out. Here on 9. He hit it to
lipped out for eagle.
Yeah, like to 20 feet.
Yeah,
he hit it to 20 feet and just lipped out. So he's an eyelash from 5 under. He's an eyelash from going out in 31. Just a casual round of golf. I think that's the. I mean that's. I mean, watching him and Rory, and they're playing with Xander.
Yeah.
And again, I walked the whole first 9 with those guys. It's just amazing. It's just amazing how good they are.
We've had such great support this week, as we talked about yesterday, of each day just being incrementally more support, more fans over last year, and we get hourly reports, and it was just we were a little behind, and then all of a sudden you realize that Xander, Rory, and Scotty are teeing off at 1:51 or whatever the time was. People just stayed at home and decided to come out at 1:51, so we moved right back ahead in those afternoon times.
Well, let me tell you what, they all came out. Okay, let me just tell you, with that group,
big group around 1 tee.
Yeah, and Horschel was ahead. Horschel and Harris English and Justin Rose were ahead of them, which is, people love Horschel.
Yeah.
So, I'm telling you now, you wanted a crowd. Were you out there at all with that group at all?
No, I wasn't. I was watching on TV. I saw them on number 1. I saw a big crowd for the announcement.
It was a big crowd. Yeah. It was a big crowd. All right, overall, weather's going to hold up. As the executive director of this thing, can't have a lot of worries, right? Everything seems to be, from an outsider who doesn't really know what's going on behind the ropes, seems to be great first day, right?
Yeah, really, moving in the right direction. A couple of, slip, trips, and falls, which is always something that you manage when you have tens of thousands of people on a outdoor property and those types of things. So certainly wish those folks well. Again, with 144 players, we play to run into some daylight issues. So the opportunity to get done or get those groups carrying over to Friday, which is not as big a deal as then tomorrow, a few groups possibly carrying over to Saturday before we're able to make a cut. So you're always thinking about those things. And then I think from a competition standpoint, what's on our mind is just taking a look at that late afternoon weather. It looks like the morning's going to be awesome on Sunday. Similar to what little bit of wind Saturday, a little bit of wind Sunday morning. But that late afternoon, from a competition standpoint, hopefully that pushes out of here and we're able to hand out a trophy at 6 o'clock on Sunday.
Do you talk to the players to say about the course? Does anybody, do the rules people, does anyone after day one, players say, hey, this is good, this is bad? Does it work like that or no?
Yeah, I think from our standpoint, we're fortunate at the PGA Tour to have a player relations team.
Okay.
And player partnerships team. It's an entire department. And so we're in steady contact with them just to understand, hey, are there any themes we need to fix right now that we're seeing, or are there any long range things that we need to work on to fix for the following years? Thus far, we've had very positive comments from the experience that our tournament services team provides to the players, their families, the player support team. In our clubhouse product today, we just unveiled the 1,200-pound tuna that was swimming off the coast.
You showed it to us.
Swimming off the coast of Spain, only 2 days ago. So I walked through there, and there were people, enjoying that. So, like I think we said last year, and hopefully we can say all through this year, when the sun's out and there's not many clouds, there's a lot more smiles on everybody's faces.
And tickets sold out for Saturday, but available for tomorrow and for Sunday still?
Yes, okay. Limited inventory available for tomorrow, but certainly tickets still available for Sunday, yep.
All right, so limited tomorrow. Will you do anything? Will you wet them, not wet them, speed them up? Will you do anything on the golf course? I know that's not your call. You told us that, but what will they do?
Yeah, I think what you look at really, Frank, is you look. We've mowed the rough for the last time, so we topped it off at 4 inches, I believe, Monday.
Oh, I see.
And so we won't touch the rough the rest of the way. So whatever growth we get, that's what they're going to face. From a practice surfaces or playing surfaces, we'll mow the tees, we'll mow the fairways, and probably keep an eye on that wind on Sunday, because you certainly want green speeds to match what those conditions are, and 13 or 13 plus sometimes with greens that have some undulation like this, 30-mile-an-hour gusts. Can move a golf ball. So we'll keep an eye on that and maybe adjust accordingly. That's probably the biggest thing we'll keep an eye on as we go forward the next 24 hours.
All right. Well, a great first day. We're all giddy because I just love coming out here. But you said it best. The sun's out. Everyone's smiling. And
look at these cookies he brought us. These are too gorgeous to eat.
And we got cookies for crying out loud.
And you got to have those. They're so moist. My mother actually got those made and brought them up from Venice, Florida.
How about that?
Wow.
Yeah, when she came up.
Oh, that's perfect.
They're gorgeous.
Then we will for sure. Lee Smith, the executive director. You'll be with us now 4:40 tomorrow.
Yep.
And tell us about our special guest that's going to come with you.
Yeah, looking forward. Great friend of mine and high school teammate of mine on the basketball court. He obviously was much better than I was. He got me a lot of shots because
I saw the picture though.
Yeah,
I saw the picture yesterday.
My guy tended to guard him as well and leave me wide open. But no, Kareem Richardson, college basketball coach, won a national title at Louisville. Is coming down to. We support each other in these spectator events, and I travel around and watch him play, and he's coming down to support me, and I think it'll be a great guest to come on and talk a little bit of the basketball that's going on. Or there is basketball going on. This isn't the only thing going on this weekend.
Well,
right?
And he coached in the Final Four 1 year ago.
Right.
So he certainly can.
When I'm
going to ask Kareem, what's that like? What's the practice in the morning like with the place? I mean, not many people have experienced that, and of course he's done it a lot.
Absolutely.
But as recently as a year ago.
Yep.
So I look forward. You've talked about him. I know he's one of your best friends. You've talked about him a lot. So we can't wait to see you both. Probably about 4:40 or so tomorrow. We look forward to it. Lee, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll take a break. Hey, when we come back, Greg Coleman joins us. We're going to talk about the Bob Hays, one of the best track meets, really high school track meets in the country. Bob runs a thing. Greg runs a thing. That's next. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
The Players Championship. Here's a 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Leaderboard update.
We're back with another Players Championship update. I'm Max Fink, and this update is brought to you by Kingfish Pest Control and Dur Magnify. Atop the leaderboard, Lucas Glover finished 6 under with a 66. He's in the clubhouse. And Chandler Phillips right with him through 12. He's also 6 under. Minwoo Lee was looking good with a 5 birdie front 9, but hit the water on 11, but just birdied again to get back tied 2 with Camilo Villegas. JJ Spawn is also making a climb this afternoon as he's 4 under through 12 with 4 birdies and counting. Jordan Spieth and Will Zalatoris finished 2 under, along with the former Florida Gator and Ponte Vedra native Billy Horschel. World number 1, 2, and 3 grouped up together with Xander Schauffele 1 under, Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy are also 2 under, tied at 20. The weather's going to be in the low 70s for the rest of the day with light winds, with the same weather expected tomorrow, at least similar. We'll be back in around 20 minutes for another one of your Players Championship updates. Thanks for listening.
Tired of supermarket produce that's traveled thousands of miles before you get it? Treat your family to farm fresh, Florida-grown fruits and veggies delivered right to your home with Doorbell Farms. No supply chain issues or questionable origins, just seasonal produce handpicked from local farmers. Subscribe monthly and enjoy the best local farm produce delivered right to you. Sign up now at doorbellfarms.com, connecting real people to real family farms. Doorbellfarms.com.
One thing that separates Beard's Diamonds from those other jewelry stores at the town center, no one's paid on commission.
Nobody at Beard's is on commission. That's more of your corporate stores that pay commission.
Beard's owner, John Lupo, says that means no pressure, no hidden agenda, no extra markups.
And you're getting a better deal. You're not paying the corporate commission. You're not paying the salesperson's commission. If they're paying their salespeople commission, you're starting off in the hole.
And that's why you feel like a number at most jewelry stores, because it's all about making the sale, but not at Beard's.
Because it's a corporate atmosphere and they want to sell you what they want to sell you. We're here to sell you what you want. Our salespeople can do whatever they want to make sure that the customer is happy.
So relax. At Beard's Diamonds, they have all the things you want, like quality education, selection, warranties, and none of the stuff you don't want, like pressure and tacked on commissions.
Nobody's making an extra 5 or 10% on Beard's customers.
Beard's Diamonds, the town center's only locally owned jeweler.
We sell better merchandise, better product for less money, guaranteed.
Mia here. It's that time again. The Ready, Set, Go sales event is back and going on now at Arlington Toyota. Just announced 0% on select new Toyota models has been extended. 0%. You can even get financing as low as 1.99% on select new trucks. Arlington has over 80 Tacomas and over 75 Tundras available. Shop the Ready, Set, Go sales event at Arlington Toyota now through March 31st. In person on Atlantic Boulevard, just a quarter mile east of 295 or at arlingtontoyota.com.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor, outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
To catch more fish, you gotta think like a fish. Captain Kevin and the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show. Reeled in by the Pest Pros at Royal Pest Services. And awaken 180 weight loss.
Thursday nights at 6.
On 1010XL AM.
Hi, I'm Malcolm Anthony. Have you been charged with a crime? You don't have to face it alone. I'm here for you. Stay out of trouble, but if you don't, call me. 285-4LAW. That's 285-4LAW in the 904.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text ORDER to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text ORDER to 42424. That's Order to 42424.
The First Tee Tour Card is back for 2025 and better than ever, with access to over 15 of North Florida's best courses and new this year, local participating businesses. This card is your ticket to saving hundreds. First Tee North Florida is a local nonprofit who build character in youth participants through the game of golf. This annual fundraiser enables this amazing organization the ability to build game changers. Grab your tour card for just $99 at tourcard.org for a list of participating partners, benefits, and restrictions.
Looking for adventure? Need a machine that works as hard as you do? CF Moto has you covered. At Ride Now Beach Boulevard, we've got CF Moto ATVs and UTVs built for any task, any trail, anytime. Tear up the dirt with the trail-tested C-Force ATV lineup or conquer through terrain with a Z-Force UTV. Find your CF Moto ride today at Ride Now Beach Boulevard or visit ridenowbeachboulevard.com. ATVs and UTVs are for riders 16 and older. They can be hazardous to operate. CF Moto recommends an improved safety training course.
Hey folks, Hicken here for Zero Res. You're going to want to beat the spring cleaning rush and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. This month, get one room Zero Resified starting at $53. Hey, and take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Don't forget about your air ducts. Your air ducts, sort of like the lungs of your home. If they're dirty, your indoor air quality suffers. Visit ZeroResJacksonville.com. Tell them Dan or 1010XL sent you. Spell it forwards or backwards. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Tired of changing out bad sod year after year? Get it done right with Roundtree Sod. Big or small, they have it, and always supplied farm fresh. For a lush, legendary green lawn, call 7414-SOD for a free estimate. 7414-SOD.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
And we welcome you back. Glad you're with us. Frank Frangie along with Hays Carlyon here. A lot of golf talk. We'll continue it in a bit. But let's get to a really important event here in Jacksonville, something we're very proud of. The Bob Hays Invitational Track Meet comes up at UNF on Saturday. It's, quite frankly, one of the best high school track meets in the country. It has been for many, many years, and we're proud to be associated with it. Greg Coleman, the great Greg Coleman from the Minnesota Vikings and other teams, the great punter, who we know very well from Jacksonville, has taken over as the executive director in recent years and done a fantastic job growing it, and he joins us now on the program. Greg, thanks for joining us, man. How are you?
It's my pleasure. You know, it's T-minus countdown. You know, it all starts tonight with the Hall of Fame Gala. I mean, we've got 400-seat auditorium that's sold out and just left our Hall of Famers, the great Justin Gatlin and T.T. Terry and Garrett Scanling, Al Chester, and Pauline Davis-Thompson. They're all looking forward to being inducted tonight. And we're so fortunate that we continued the legacy of the great Bob Hays and the legend himself. So it is an amazing time for our community, all of Jacksonville. The support that we've had over the years, Fran, has just been incredible.
I will tell you this, growing up in Jacksonville, you knew about the Bob Hays. You watched, and when I was a high school writer, Hays, you probably were too, we all knew James Day. And James, how proud he was of it, and Greg's taken over since. Greg, tell us a little bit about why this track meet is so special. I mean, there's track meets everywhere, right? But this one's special, man. Why is this one so special?
It really is because, number one, of the legend who it's named after. Bob Hays is the only guy that God blew breath in to win 2 Olympic gold medals and a Super Bowl ring. Right. And what it meant to the track and field world was just incredible. Now, you just mentioned I did spend 12 years in the National Football League. But, Fran, I got to tell you, it was track and field that opened my eyes to what was possible. And James Day, the former meet director and one of the founders, was my track coach, was my mentor. And what he instilled in me, what was possible. And it didn't come through football, but it actually came through track and field. So I understand what it means, to be a competitor. And I tell you something else that I did. While I was with the broadcast team, I would look at every kid who was from Florida. And I looked at the bio. And I saw that if they ran track, if they participated in the Bob Hays, I would go down during pregame warm-up and say, man, I remember you from the Bob Hays. and you would see that look on their face of amazement. Man, the Bob Hays is a cat's meow. And we always say, if you can run and win in the Bob Hays, you can run and win anywhere.
Without a doubt. Greg, it's Hays Carlyon. Thank you so much for joining us. For the young sports fan that's listening to us right now, explain how Bob Hays, his speed changed the NFL and how NFL defenses had to go against him and the Cowboys.
Well, that's another part of his legacy. You know, he was not able to be covered by one man, one-on-one. So he was the catalyst for defensive coordinators and head coaches to create the zone defense because it took more than one or two guys to cover Bob Hays. So he not only changed track and field with the 2 Olympic gold medals, man, he changed the sport of football and how defenses are created nowadays. You call it the prevent defense. All you could do is you could not even prevent Bob from scoring touchdowns, whether it was at wide receiver position or the punt return position. Because thank God that I was not along as a punter when Bob Hays was a punt return, because I never would have kicked it to him.
Frank Frangie, along with Hays Carlyon, the great Greg Coleman with us, the executive director now of the Bob Hays Invitation, which comes up on Saturday. Tell me about your tracking. Everyone knows what a great punter you were, but you were really good in track. Tell us a little bit about that history. I ask you that every time we do this.
Well, I was a, hurdler, highs and lows, All-American hurdler, qualified for the 76 Olympics, but had to make a choice between football and track. Obviously chose football, but I don't regret any decision that I made. But, Fran, you talk about Saturday's event with the Bob Hays, but, man, we start tomorrow with the middle school event. We've got over 300 middle schoolers that'll be out at the University of North Florida. But we also have an event called Huddle with the Legends. That means those inducted into the Hall of Fame tonight will have an opportunity to talk with our young people, share with them their life lessons, part of their journey, and, pros and cons. So that's one thing that we're very, very proud of. And the scholarship recipients, for those participating in the Bob Hays track meet, that's one thing that Coach Dave really, really felt strongly about, education, because with education, you change generations. So we're so proud to carry on the legend and the legacy that was created by those founders, Bob Hays himself and James Coach Dave. This is our 25th Hall of Fame gala.
Wow.
And we also the 60th running of the Bob Hays, and we are celebrating a number of men who ran in that first Bob Hays track meet tonight. So we're so excited. We are so elated with the support that we've gotten from the city, the mayor, city council, Pepsi, Best Bet. The list goes on and on and on. I just, man, now you get me excited, okay? I was all calm and cool.
Excited.
But, it's a great event, great for the community. Hey, the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah, well, you know what? You got us excited, too, and I really appreciate you taking the time to join us. I know how busy tonight's going to be for you. The middle schoolers tomorrow, the high schoolers on Saturday. People can get tickets. Can they get tickets when they get there, right? We want to invite all the track fans out there, right, Greg? That's the idea.
Absolutely. Or you can go online to bhitm22.org. Or obviously, when you come out to the stadium tomorrow and Saturday, absolutely. And it's going to be a great day. I think the good Lord is going to bless us with some amazing weather. So we can't wait. And so appreciative of all of our volunteers, the coaches, and the student athletes. So we're ready for a great big weekend, Fran.
I can't wait for it. Greg Coleman, the executive director of the Bob Hays. We appreciate it. Greg, have a great weekend out at UNF, man. We appreciate you joining us. Take care, buddy.
All right, guys. Take care now.
All right, Greg Coleman. And, by the way, that story, people don't realize that story. He was this great punter. Went to A&M and was this great punter for the Vikings for 8 or 9 years. I think he finished maybe with Cleveland. He was all over the league. He could have run in the Olympics. But back then, well, now too, by the way, if you can make NFL money, you make NFL money. But I mean, that's incredible.
That really, I mean, to have that skill set, to be so gifted at two totally different disciples, it really is remarkable, and it's really cool that he's carried on this legacy. And again, I mean, it really is amazing the legacy that Bob Hays left in both track and football. I don't know that you'll ever see anybody even come close to accomplishing
what Greg said is true. He changed the NFL because he really did. Nobody had played zone defense. It was just like one man covers a man until nobody could cover Bob Hays. Nobody could run with him, so they said, look, let's put a couple guys back there and just cover an area of the field. And so the first time I ever had Greg on, the first time I ever had him on to talk about his tournament, he goes, hey, Fran, let me tell you. He said, I wasn't fast enough. That's why I had to be a punter. So I believed him. I didn't know the history.
Right.
I didn't know the history. Well, I looked it up. He almost went to the Olympics as a hurdler.
That's amazing.
I said, so I'm going to guess you're fast. I think I'm going to guess here you're lying, okay? And you're faster than you let on.
What would you guess, Bob Hays? If they probably didn't even do the 40, but what would it have been, like 4.18?
Yeah, Dion, probably sub 4.2. Wow. I mean, Bob Hays, they still think the guys of today aren't faster than he was then. Mm-hmm. It was all the training and nutrition and all that. I don't know if it's true or not, but I think even the guys today aren't as fast as Bob Hays was then. Probably, yeah, I would guess today. I mean, the super fast guys at the combine are 4.28, 4.26, something like that. Didn't Dion somewhere run sub 4.2? Why did I think
that's part of the
Is that the lore? Maybe
Dion.
Maybe that's it. But you're right. I don't. But I would be. Here's what I would tell you. Probably faster than all those guys. I would say fast. My guess would be faster than all those guys. So thanks to Greg Coleman for coming on the program. He's a good guy. I've known Greg a long time. I was honored to MC the Florida Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony the year he and Tom Coughlin went in together just a few years ago, and so it was really a cool thing. So we appreciate that. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk a little football. We'll talk a little golf. Hayes will give you a little bit of a lay of the land of what some of the new free agents said. He was on hand for that. He was not there for Gladstone, but Mia was there. So we'll give you sort of an idea of what went on down at the stadium today. And we'll talk a little more golf coming up as well. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
The Players Championship. Here's a 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Leaderboard update.
It's been a beautiful opening round here at the Players Championship, the 51st playing of that is. I'm Max Fink with your Players Championship update. This update brought to you by Roundtree Sod and Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet. The feature group is really starting to heat up as Rory started out his back nine with back-to-back birdies. He's 3 under through 11. Scheffler just behind at 2 under, and Xander Schauffele, the X-Man, at 1 under. Chandler Phillips bogeyed at 4 to put him back, making Lucas Glover the solo leader. Phillips will join Minwoo Lee and Vijayas at second place. Vijayas is one of 3 Gators in position to make the cut. Billy Horschel at 1 under, and Alejandro Tozzi at 2 under. If you guys saw the video of Tozzi making the hole-in-one at yesterday's practice round, he celebrated by jumping in the pond. We'll keep you updated throughout the tournament with updates about every 20 minutes. I'm Max Fink once again, and we'll see you again in about 20 minutes.
Lauren Brooks here. At Hodges Mazda, they are proud of their solid reputation in the Jacksonville community. As your hometown Mazda dealer, their high customer service standards and their huge inventory of new and used cars provide their customers a consistently first-rate car buying experience. Their professional non-commissioned sales team puts your best interests first without exception. And all new vehicle purchases include the Hodges Mazda Protection Package. Visit them online at HodgesMazda.com or stop in today to learn more and discover the Hodges Mazda difference.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell & Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. So how do you decide? With so many messages on air, I know it can all sound the same. At Harrell & Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. When you've been injured in an accident, you need help from someone you know, someone you can trust. Harrell & Harrell, a name you know, a name you trust. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Offices, Jacksonville.
New and pre-owned firearms are always in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimbar, Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, and Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
One of the few places drinking and driving isn't against the law.
Good looking shot here.
Get live Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates
From Corona Premier, Campione Law, and Kuhn Flowers.
on 1010XL.
The restaurant of the day is the Great Greek Mediterranean Grill. Get a Greek Feast family combo meal tray with chicken skewers, gyro meat, dolmades, and more. Feed 4 to 6 people for just $49.95. Feed 8 to 10 for just $99.95. The Great Greek Mediterranean Grill.
Thinning or balding hair? Introducing Scalp Micropigmentation now at IHRS. SMP is a procedure for men and women, looks like your own growing hair, and corrects thinning areas. SMP is perfect for men and women who shave their head and want a full head of hair look. Call IHRS now, 904-777-IHRS, 904-777-4477, or visit hairforme.com today.
Don't miss the Players Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scottie Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
Hey gang, Prosser here. We've talked about some of the struggles that you may come across when it comes time to sell your home. We've told you how great Chad and Sandy are at chadandsandy.com. But you know, they're also great when things are going good and the economy is showing positive signs. Now may be the time to sell your home at the price you want. It's easy to find out. Get friendly expert help from the Jacksonville agents who eat and sleep local real estate. Call my agents, Chad and Sandy Newman. So maybe you want guaranteed no-hassle home sale but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. Chad and Sandy can do that. Maybe you're worried you won't sell your home for the price you need. Well, let's take care of that right now because here's the Chad and Sandy guarantee. Your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline or they will buy it. Jonathan in Mount Pleasant said the only thing standing between me and my dream of traveling in my RV was the sale of my Mount Pleasant home. I heard Chad and Sandy on the radio and called. Crazy results in just 3 days. Multiple offers, full asking price. You can get it too. Call today or go to chadandsandy.com.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Ahead, we build platforms for digital business. We help create your platform for digital business by weaving together advances in cloud infrastructure, intelligent operations, and modern applications. Digital business is comprised of 5 pillars. We call them imperatives because they're a must-have, not a nice-to-have. We enterprise cloud, integrated security, scaled DevOps, intelligent operations, and relentless automation. Need help with digital transformation? Ahead. Learn, grow, achieve.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
We thank our friends from Stanley Pools. The best in the business since 1988 is right. They've been doing our pools ever since. They also service our pool. If you want a great pool company, there's really the best in town at Stanley Pools. That's not just me saying it. That's widely recognized, thanks to our friends at Stanley Pools. Frank Frangie, Hays Carlyon with you. JJ LaSelva back at the world headquarters. We've talked a lot of golf. We'll continue to, but it was a big day for the Jags as well. A lot of the free agent signees were there. Hayes talked to some of those guys. We'll get some thoughts from them as well. But then after that, James Gladstone, the general manager of the Jags, met with the media too. Now, I told you yesterday, I thought you were going to hear that they pretty much got the guys they targeted, because they did. And James Gladstone was asked about that and was excited about the fact that all the targets hit.
Yeah, it's been an absolute blast. I think the collaboration over the course of the last 3 weeks has been something we've held at a premium. And, looking at our pro scouting staff and our football administration staff, blending with our a level of pride and being able to engage with all of those groups in such a short window of time, and actually walking into the pro free agency window, with some unknowns, right? There were some holes on our roster, and unlike the draft, right, an NFL pro free agent has the chance to say, you know what, I appreciate the offer, but I'm going somewhere else, right? In the draft, you send a name into a system, and they're now a part of your team. So that was a dynamic that walking into that door on Monday, you feel like, you know what, we're going to have to adjust today. Well, lo and behold, we had 9 names that we were prioritizing, and we ended up with 9 players that ended up on our roster as of today. So seeing that plan come to life, being executed in the way that it was, certainly something that at this point in time I'm proud of, but I can't wait for these players to engage with the rest of the team, get out on the grass in the fall, because it's not the off season that we're looking to win from a perception standpoint. We're looking to win football games this fall, and can't wait for the next phase of this in the draft to truly see what the shape of the roster is going to look like, and then get everybody out on the grass together here later in the spring.
I can tell you a little story about that. He said we targeted 9 guys and got all 9. I'll take it a step further. When they met on Monday on the legal tampering, he had everybody together. I mean, all the scouts, all the personnel people, and he said, "Listen, you're going to have to ride a roller coaster today. Don't get your hope. We're probably not getting all 9." He said it doesn't usually don't offer 9 and get 9. He said he's been in this business a while, so don't get your hopes up. Don't be demoralized if we get 6 or 7. We'll move forward to the next guy. And and I can tell you, James Gladstone had that conversation with everybody, with the whole staff, the whole football operational staff. Don't be disappointed if we don't. Everybody knew who the 9 were. Don't be disappointed if we don't hit all 9. It's not the end of the world. We move to the next level, and then they hit all 9, which is why they all were roaring out of their fist pumping at the end of the day, because that was the conversation, that was the dialogue, and they hit them all.
Yeah, absolutely. And James obviously talked about 3 offensive linemen, being the most of any position group that was addressed, and talking about how he feels like these 3 will help set the standard for what they're looking for. And he said, look, obviously we could continue to add it, the offensive line in the draft as well. So I obviously, the big priority, to their credit, I mean, from step 1, it was, we got to be more physical. The offensive line has to mean something when we break the huddle. And, here we are. And, after the first wave of free agency, and they've added 3 guys, probably a starting center, probably a starting right guard, and probably a swing tackle, who will, I think, have a legit chance to push the left tackle and potentially the right tackle for a starting job. So you figure a draft pick of pretty high quality is coming, I would think, in the first 3 rounds of this draft, which they have 4 selections in those first 3 rounds. So it all starts there. And to their credit, they're focusing on the right things.
He was also asked about the players who aren't here anymore. He was asked why the decision to cut Evan Ingram and Christian Kirk.
Really have so much respect for the people and the players that both Christian and Evan are, right? And they meant a lot to the locker room. And, we'll continue to bring those types of people and players into our ecosystem, but we needed a little bit more flexibility to address the larger scale roster after, some departures across the OL as well. So that was a big part in that, but we do feel like we're in a better position today than we were a couple of weeks ago to make it so that when we enter, each decision at each pick point in April, that we can continue to level up, where we are from a personnel perspective.
My translation of that is, if they didn't have as many needs, they wouldn't have cut them. But cutting those 2 players if cutting those 2 players allows you to add 5 players or somewhere thereabouts. And I think that's the reason.
It's a lot like the Chargers model from last year when Jim Harbaugh got there, and they had these 2 receivers that had been good to great players.
Really good for them.
And Keenan Allen, who was a great player, and Mike Williams, who was a good player. But they were getting up there, and they were expensive. And the problem with the Chargers was the trenches and getting Justin Herbert the protection that he needed. And Harbaugh got there with a new GM, but obviously it's under his direction, and said, look, I can't prioritize these 2 receivers. We're going to have to just let them go. We're going to have to draft the right tackle high in the draft in Joe Alt, and we're going to have to build and fortify the lines so that we can be a physical team. And it paid off for the Chargers, and they had a nice year. And again, that's the tried and true method of building a football team. And yes, things are spread out and offenses are more exotic and things like that. None of it matters. This is a gladiator sport, and if you can't block the team in front of you, you are not going to be successful.
Final thought here from James Gladstone. The one thing they didn't do is get a veteran defensive tackle. That's one area that we had all talked about. He was asked about that decision today as well.
Yeah, we got 10 picks in this year's draft. We're going to have some spots that are actually open for them to insert. So, if you add a veteran at this point, could be just standing in the way. We're going to allow these rookies to, get a chance to get out on the field and help us this coming fall.
So that he's hinting at least we're taking a defensive tackle high in the draft.
Well, and an edge. I mean, because I want to say the question was asked about both, and so it makes sense. The edge crop is still, I think, actually pretty good. And now again, I could be falling more for the name than where the game is currently.
That's right. Well said.
But you look at the available list of edge players, and again, the player, like James said, in just general, the player would have to want to come. Probably not going to be a starter here, which is going to be a non-starter for a lot of these guys in terms of a negotiation. It's just a fact. But look, the longer these guys stay on the market, beggars can't be choosers. And so it's still early, but the edge is something to monitor as we get into the summer, closer to camp. But it makes sense what he's saying. I mean, you got 10 picks. You have to think defensive tackle and edge are going to be high up on the list. And, why sign a free agent you're not in love with if it's just going to create a clog, when you invest a premium pick in a player.
And whether or not this regime is picking the right guys more times than not, well, we'll learn that in the fall, and we'll learn that in succeeding falls. We'll find out. If this group, if the Macari, Hainsey additions to the offensive line, plus whatever else you do, make you suddenly more physical on the offensive front, well, then they knew what they were doing. I got a hunch they do. Final thing is, JJ, I want to play cut 6, too. I didn't tell you that going in. But I do want to talk a little bit about the wide receiver, Diami Brown. I've been saying all along that I think he's a guy that could really affect them if they get this one right. And there's a guy to stretch the field opposite Brian Thomas Jr. That's a big deal. James Gladstone talked about his newest wide receiver as well.
Yeah, I think it's easy to look at Diami's career path and trajectory and know that he's ascending, right? The way that he closed out last season was nothing short of impressive, and we look for him to carry that into really his one-year contract with us. He took a bet on himself that a year from now, given the opportunity that he sees here with the Jacksonville Jaguars, that he's going to take another step and earn an even larger contract. And, what he provides just on a vertical plane and in run-after-catch scenarios is something that is extremely exciting, extremely alluring for our offensive staff. And I think that he'll be able to take another step to expand his game, and we'll see him come to life in the same ways that he did towards the end of the season with Washington this last season right off the bat, well as also expanding his role to fit what we're intending on doing this coming season.
So the point is, they think he's going to be a home run hitter. They think and the best way to help Brian Thomas Jr. get loose down the field is if you have two guys that get down the field to worry about. My guess is, and I don't know this, there's no insight on this, I'm just telling you my guess, reading the tea leaves here, but my guess here, Hays, is this suddenly makes, in my mind, if you played today, Brian Thomas Jr. and De'Ami Brown are outside. Parker Washington is in the slot, and Gabe Davis just became the fourth guy. Now, that may not be how they see it, and we'll ask that in time. We'll see it enough when the OTAs commence. But I would think right now, De'Ami Brown and Brian Thomas Jr. are your two outside guys.
Yeah, I would think there's a great chance of that. So that to me is really the wild card of the group, because there's just not a lot of productivity with De'Ami, and it is a significant amount of money, at least for this year. Now, obviously, it's just a one-year deal, and if they get a disappointing result, they'll move on. He'll hit the market, and he'll be somewhere else. So it's not like it's high risk. I don't want to say that, but it's certainly betting on a potential that we haven't seen yet, and this guy's been in the league for a good bit of time to have not seen it yet. So now, again, obviously in the postseason, had a wonderful postseason. Maybe that was the start of it, blossoming player. But now you're taking a guy who just had, 2 or 3 good games at the end of the season. Now he's uprooted. Now he's with a new team. He's with a new coach, new quarterback. Does that stunt the growth that he was making? So, again, it's going to be a lot of fun to see. It'll be a storyline we follow. I don't know if you guys have it, so I apologize. But I thought Gladstone had a really interesting comment about Jordan Lewis, and I don't know are you getting ready to maybe play that, or should I just share it?
Share it.
So he was asked about Jordan Lewis, and who signed a 3-year, $30 million deal. And one thing that Gladstone said that I thought really resonated is he said, every defensive coordinator that I have been around, when we play Dallas, every offensive coordinator always had to account for Jordan Lewis.
How about that?
And that really resonated with me in terms of his ability. And he talked about the mental toughness, the dog mentality,
right,
which is kind of overplayed, but that's the parlance of our times. And, that dog mentality is something that Gladstone really brought up as well. So this is a talented player that offensive coordinators have high up on the scouting report in terms of guy you got to account for. And I think he's going to bring the kind of physical mentality and just the confidence that I think they feel like they're lacking.
Fair enough. Big day down at the stadium today. We heard from a number of the players and from James Gladstone. We'll take a break. When we come back, Hays has headlines. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
The Players Championship. Here's a 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Leaderboard update.
Bluebird skies and light winds to open up the 51st Players Championship, the opening round today. I'm Max Fink with your Players Championship update. This update brought to you by Renewal by Anderson and the Deck Guys. The afternoon action is starting to heat up here with a really shifty leaderboard as everybody's trying to chase down the 6-time PGA Tour winner Lucas Glover, currently in the clubhouse at 6 under as he shot a 66 today. Minwoo Lee, Chandler Phillips, Camilo Villegas are all one back from him. And the featured group is heating up with a little bit of magic as Rory McIlroy birdied 9 through 12 for 4 straight birdies. They all just got done playing the 13th, and all 3 of them parted. The 4 under group, 4 under is becoming a popular score out here. There's a big grouping of guys out there. We'll keep you updated throughout this championship tournament. Keep on listening to 1010XL 92.5 FM. I'm Max Fink, and we'll be back in about 20 minutes.
Lots of jewelry stores in the town center, but only one is locally owned, Beard's Diamonds.
We're the only local jewelry store at the town center.
That's Jacksonville's John Lupo, owner of Beard's for over 4 decades.
We're entrenched in Jacksonville, Florida.
In a sea of mega chain jewelers, John says it's easy to stand out because he's not handcuffed by a corporate handbook.
I am not beholden to a corporate structure, so we've got flexibility to do whatever we can and want, and we do.
And that includes lowering prices to undercut them every day.
Quality for quality, color for color, everything the same. We should be able to beat them hands down by minimum 20%. We go overseas ourselves. We know exactly what we're buying. This isn't getting marked up in a corporate structure. We will beat anybody's price anywhere.
So before you buy anything at one of those chains, get a second opinion at locally owned Beard's Diamonds. No corporate atmosphere, no corporate rules, no corporate high markups.
We want you to come shop us and you'll see a lot better price here.
Beard's Diamonds.
Everybody gets a good deal at Beard's.
If you need an insurance agent, I'll recommend the best guy in town, State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst. Call him at 940-9740. Really good guy, really good agent. Life insurance, homeowners, automotive, you name it, he'll handle it for you. Tell him what you need. He'll assess your whole situation. What kind of coverage do you need? How much coverage? What should your deductible be? What do you make, and how does it fit your cost and your rates? You will love dealing with Craig. What a nice guy he is, and how he'll help you get the right answers. The best in the business. Craig Dewhurst from State Farm, 940-9740.
Here's Linda Beaver.
At Beaver Chevrolet, we believe your experience should be more than just buying a car. It should be a lifetime of confidence, care, and trust. That's why we're proud to offer lifetime warranties and lifetime customer service. At Beaver Chevrolet, we're not just here to sell you a car. We're here to establish a lifelong relationship that you can always count on. It's simple. You deserve the best and shouldn't settle for less. Visit Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville, where we're ready to give you a peace of mind for a lifetime.
Hi, I'm Karen, owner of Clay Solar Installation Partners, your local women-owned solar company. At Clay Solar, we're more than just panels and power. We're about people. We make the switch to clean energy simple, stress-free, and built to last. If you've had a bad experience with solar in the past, we can help. We specialize in dependable solutions and top-notch customer service, so you can finally enjoy the savings and sustainability you deserve. Schedule your free consultation at claysolar.com.
Did you know your pup could take 30,000 to 60,000 steps a day at Dogtopia of Jacksonville Beach Boulevard? That's a whole lot of tail wagging fun with their best furry friends. At Dogtopia, they turn playtime into exercise, learning, and socialization in their off-leash, open play environment. Dogs build confidence, reduce anxiety, and stay happy and healthy, all while having the time of their lives. Visit Dogtopia of Jacksonville Beach Boulevard today.
Living life on the edge of your seat.
Are you kidding me?
Your front row seat for play-by-play.
Break it free, they're not going to catch you.
1010XL.
Struggling with ED? Now Riddle Wellness has a solution that works. You've heard of PRP treatments for joint pain relief. That same technology is now available with the P-Shot, a non-surgical treatment for ED. Using your body's natural power, the P-Shot helps restore function naturally. No pills, no downtime, just results. Schedule a free consultation at elevatejacksonville.com and learn what the P-Shot can do for you. Riddle Wellness, your health, your confidence totally restored. Visit elevatejacksonville.com.
Hey, it's Adam from Counting Crows, and we were going to hire a typical loud radio guy to tell you about the summer's Complete Suites tour, but I wanted to just invite you myself. Guess I should. Old songs, new songs. We'll be joined by our friends, the Gaslight Anthem. It's a summer butter miracle. Come and hang with us. Okay, your turn now.
Saturday, July 19th, St. Augustine Amphitheater. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at theamp.com.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Make the most of every lawn with Kubota commercial landscaping equipment. From the productivity-boosting Z700 mower to the reliable SVL track loader, it's a lineup built to get the job done right. Because when your reputation is on the line, you need equipment that will never let you down. Visit Coastal Equipment in Jacksonville or McClenny.
Power for the great outdoors. Coastal Equipment.
Coastal Equipment on New Kings Road and in McClenny.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round.
It's Hays' Headlines, presented by Harrell and Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hays Carlyon.
All right, welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank Frangie is here. We've got JJ LaSelva back at 1010XL. I am Hays Carlyon. Thank you to our friends at Harrell and Harrell. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're injured, give them a call. 251-1111. They'll take great care of you. Frank, we're going to start with the Jaguars. James Gladstone, the general manager, met with reporters today to go over the 9-man draft class and really highlighted adding those 3 offensive linemen, setting a standard for what they want that unit to look like.
Yeah, and listen, I don't think there's any question. I can tell you the general feeling, my feeling, yours I think too, plus the team brass, that they weren't physical enough, man. And they really weren't physical on the line of scrimmage. Trevor Lawrence was asked after the season, after Doug Peterson was fired and Trent Baalke was fired, and he said, listen, we never could run the ball, and that made us predictable. Well, when you can't run, then you can't protect because the other team knows you can't run, and they're flying after you. You know, I mean, they're pinning their ears back, you know. So no, I would think that they had to get better physically. I am not surprised at all. I'm not surprised there's 3 linemen. I wouldn't have guessed 3 of them. I wouldn't have guessed 33% of a very big haul would be offensive line. But now that I wouldn't have guessed it, but I'm not surprised by it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Let's get to around the NFL. We'll start with a former Jaguar moving on. Mac Jones to the 49ers on a 2-year deal worth $7 million. So obviously a local product and a Jaguar product. How do you think Mac Jones will fare as Brock Purdy's backup?
I can tell you, I was on with Greg Papa today. He's the voice of the 49ers. I was on Greg's show with him this morning, and they're pretty excited about him. I can tell you that the 49ers liked him all along. There was a lot of belief they were going to draft him. He's somewhat similar to Brock Purdy, who, of course, trains here in Jacksonville. I think what they want, what Kyle Shanahan wants his quarterback to do, the way and the rhythm with which he wants him to get through his progressions, the full field reads that are such a big deal to him. I think Mac fits all that. I think Mac will be the backup there. I don't think he's going to push Purdy, but I think he'll be a backup that will allow them to play the way they play when Purdy's in, not as well. That's why he's the backup. But I think he's a good fit. I think, and I'm glad for Mac. Mac's a good guy. Mac wanted the 1 year here to kind of rebuild him, his career, what he is. And I'm glad he's going to get a chance. I think that's a good fit for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And who knows, if they don't get the contract done with Brock Purdy and it doesn't seem like they're overly close, then who knows what happens. Maybe Purdy holds out and Mac Jones will, get an opportunity more earlier than maybe what we expect. The Patriots made a surprising move today, releasing longtime center and team captain David Andrews. The 32-year-old Andrews is an 8-time Patriots captain and 2-time Super Bowl champ. Shoulder surgery limited Andrews to just 4 games last season, but more change in New England.
Yeah, the only thing possibly, and I don't know the inside there, and we don't know, we're not up there, but the only thing possibly that could possibly lead to this is Mike Vrabel said he just doesn't have it anymore. The body's finally broken down. Because to your point, really respected, really good leader, really good teammate. Someone that he'll be in the Patriots ring of whatever at some point. They really like him. The body must just not have been cooperating anymore, or they wouldn't have let him go.
Yeah, that's what I would think as well. Cooper Kupp is officially a free agent, the standout receiver. He's 31, though. The 31-year-old Kupp has 7,776 receiving yards in his career with 57 touchdowns. Our buddy Jamal St. Cyr from Channel 4 asked James Gladstone about Cooper Kupp's availability, and Gladstone was obviously very respectful in his comments, but it did not seem like anything as imminent as you've been saying with the Jaguars and Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, they were never. I don't think the Jags were ever interested in Cooper Kupp. Certainly is a premier guy. Now look, if he all of a sudden nothing's there, no trade partners, nobody jumping, all of a sudden, and I think Gladstone kind of alluded to this, we'll always listen. If all of a sudden he's going to play for really small dollars and like smaller than you could have imagined, then if that all happens, well, then I think the world changes a little bit. So I think if that's the case, but other than that, no, I don't think there's any extreme interest at all in it.
Mike Williams is back with the Chargers. We mentioned him just in a segment prior. Williams spent 7 years with the Chargers before departing last year, but now is back, the big receiver. So Justin Herbert gets a little bit more familiar help, big target on the perimeter.
Yeah, he was no factor at all in Pittsburgh. And I wonder if
and that was after he was traded from the Jets.
Yeah, he was no factor at all. Well, no factor at all last year at all. So I don't know if there's much left, but hey, end your career where you've been very good. If there's any place you can play well, it's with a quarterback that knows you a little bit, so it makes some sense.
Let's get it to the Players' Championship. We were out here at the stadium course. Frank, you had a chance to get out there and walk it. Just what were the vibes and also just the wind? Give us a sense of the conditions as you were walking with Scheffler, Rory, and Xander.
Yeah, I thought, number one, I thought it was real playable. Now, I walked in the afternoon where the breeze had picked up a little bit. There was no wind this morning. It wasn't a bad wind, but the wind had picked up a little bit. The wind had picked up a little bit by the afternoon. But it was Hays. It was beautiful. The vibe out here, big crowd following that group, as you can imagine. Fun to watch. Everybody having a good time. Lee Smith said it best: when everybody's smiling, or when the sun's out, everybody's smiling, and it was as good a vibe. Honest to God, it was as good a vibe as you could imagine out here. It was a joy to walk around.
Lucas Glover fired a 6-under par 66 to take the lead. He is done for the day. The 45-year-old Glover, winner of the 2009 U.S. Open, made 9 birdies, including on his last 4 holes. So an incredible close for Lucas Glover. I tell you, a story that's developing this afternoon that is going to be really remarkable. Camilo Villegas is at 6 under through 13 last I saw. So he was tied for the lead at least a few minutes ago. But what a story. Obviously, former Gator, had a lot of sizzle when he got on the tour many years ago, has gone through some incredible just tragedy in his family. But if Camilo can get it going and stay in the hunt, what a story that would be here at the Players' Championship this year.
And how fun would it be?
Oh,
now, Lynn, you got to be careful. We've learned this. You got to be careful to get too excited about these early leaders because it's a marathon.
Right. After today, it's just the first quarter.
Yeah, but Villegas is a guy playing in the afternoon, so he should have better weather tomorrow.
Right.
Again, it's not appreciably better, but less wind tomorrow. But no, what a wonderful story. It's been the course set up today for some people to go low. You could tell that, and I felt that the whole time I was out there.
A couple players really struggled that we're used to seeing do some great things. Justin Thomas, the 2021 Players Champion, endured a horrible first round, 2 double bogeys and a triple bogey on way to 6 over. He actually birdied his final 2 holes to avert further disaster. He was at 8 over, got the 2 birdies to close, but still 6 over. Going to need something pretty brilliant tomorrow, probably something like a 66, 65 maybe, to make it to the weekend.
I told you this before. I told you this last year, I think it was last year. For whatever reason, I don't sense Justin Thomas is ever coming back. That doesn't mean he won't win. That doesn't mean he won't win somewhere along the line. He might win at Firestone. He might win somewhere, but I don't think he's ever going to be a real factor in these tournaments of significance. My opinion is you're just not going to see that. We'll see.
A couple other players that really struggled. Victor Hovland shot an 8 over 80, and Max Homa really had a difficult day today. So a couple of those aren't surprises. Those guys haven't been in great form. But some names that people might be cognizant of out there. Let's get it to a Loser Monday update.
Oh, I need an update.
Yes,
and I need it now.
Go. Frank, you're looking good. Scheffler is at 3 under through 13, it looks like. So
I love bonus, but I'd rather somebody else go for me.
Yep. So you're looking like, shockingly, with the 2-time defending champion.
Imagine that
you're going to be in good shape. JJ is the only one that is in with Ludwig Oberg, a solid 1 under 71. So nothing to be overly upset by with that. And Colin Morikawa, my guy, last I saw was 1 under through 12.
Okay, so we're all in there together.
We're all kind of
in
decent shape right now.
Yeah, you would hope even knuckleheads like us, with the whole field of golf there, we wouldn't look up and one of our guys is 8 over. You know, I mean, you would think, right? So for the first day, on a beautiful day where scoring was going to be available. So there you go. I like it. Let's all make the cut and have a fun weekend.
That would be a lot of fun. In college basketball, we'll start with the SEC tournament. Texas's hopes stayed alive in terms of making the NCAA field with a win over Vanderbilt last night, and they are right in a fight right now in the second half with Texas A&M. So that is something, if the Longhorns are able to upset the Aggies, I think they will move from being outside the bubble to inside. That would be another SEC team making the field. So that will be very interesting to see what happens there. Mississippi State crushes LSU last night. They will play Missouri at 7 o'clock tonight. Winner of that game gets the Gators. And Oklahoma came from behind to beat Georgia last night. So very disappointing loss for Mike White. They are out. The Bulldogs look like they're going to be in, but now they may move into that play-in game range with their seeding. Oklahoma really needed that win. They were on the right side of the bubble. That win over Georgia probably helped solidify them into the field. In terms of today's action, Ole Miss beat Arkansas 83-80 on basically a buzzer beater 3. We told you the Longhorns and Aggies are battling right now. Told you Mississippi State, Missouri tonight at 7, and Oklahoma, Kentucky is the nightcap tonight in Nashville.
If Texas beats Texas A&M, the SEC is probably going to have 14 teams. The record's 11 by the Big East in 2010. Remember, there's more teams in than there were in the 80s when the Big East was so strong. But the record is 11 back in 2010, 15 years ago. They're going to shatter that no matter what. If Texas wins that game today, according to Joe Lunardi, it looks like, there's going to be 14, a pretty good chance, 14 SEC teams in the 68-team field.
It's amazing. Really is amazing. Let's talk about the Florida Gators, the number 2 seed in the SEC tournament. They will play tomorrow night at 7 o'clock against that Mississippi State, Missouri winner. Frank, I'm going to put you on the spot. Rank the 3 best Florida players on this year's team.
Clayton, Condon, that was easy. Now it gets hard. Okay. Okay. You probably figured it was going to get hard at 3. Clayton 1, Condon 2. The 3rd best player, I can define it however. Prospect.
No, I would just say, best player on this team.
Will Richard.
Really?
I'm gonna have him ahead of Elijah Martin.
Wow. And how?
Yeah, and how? I think Will Richard. And I'm looking at valuable.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm probably gonna. I don't think he's playing in the NBA.
Right.
Okay. So I don't think he and Martin are NBA prospects in the least. But as far as right now, I'll go Will Richard.
Interesting.
Because he's capable of a 30-point game.
Yeah.
He's capable of if you need him to. I don't think Houck and Martin can go get you 30. I think Richard can.
And Richard has shown he can be clutch.
Yeah,
He saved them in Columbia, South Carolina.
So, what's your answer to that?
I would say, it's Clayton, Condon 1, 2, and then I would say Houck 3rd, then Martin, then Richard.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, but once you get to that 3rd,
it's hard.
It is.
Great question.
It's a little dicey. Let's get into the ACC tournament. Duke freshman phenom Cooper Flagg injured his ankle in Duke's 78-70 win today over Georgia Tech. That will be really interesting to see the severity of it. How does Duke handle it?
Yeah,
because if you're the NCAA committee and he doesn't return to play in this tournament, you're going to have to kind of speculate on his availability for the NCAA tournament. And, that could affect whether they're a 1 seed.
I think they're a 1 seed already. And I wouldn't risk it. If he's hurt at all. Now the ACC tournament's a big deal. The ACC tournament in basketball is kind of like the SEC football championship game. Regardless of how it affects the national championship, you want to win that. Well, the ACC tournament has, over the years, it's not a very good league this year, but over the years, it has had the prestige, I believe. It's had in my opinion, it's had the prestige of the equivalent of the SEC championship football game. So, for me, I still would hold him out. I wouldn't play him. You need him in the NCAA tournament. You're only going to have him 1 year. I wouldn't play him.
North Carolina is making a big move to get on the right side of the bubble as Selection Sunday nears. The Tar Heels beat Notre Dame last night and got another win today, taking down Wake Forest 68-59.
I think North Carolina should be in. I know they're 1-12 or whatever in the quad 1 wins, but I don't believe there's 68 better teams. I watched them against Florida. I watched them the other day against Duke. even if they're in a play-in game, I think they should be in the field.
We'll get you a baseball thought here. The Rays are not moving forward with their stadium plan. Do you think in 5 years is the Tampa Bay area still home to the Rays?
If they don't figure out Tampa, not St. Pete, if they don't figure out Tampa, I think that team's going to wind up in Nashville. If they figure out Tampa, I think they'll stay in the Tampa Bay area.
Interesting, and we will get you out on our musical note of the day. We're going to celebrate another local
concert
big night at the Jacksonville Coliseum. The Police, back in 1982 on this date, performed at the Jacksonville Coliseum. Joan Jett opened.
How about
what a
that
show.
Yeah, how about that show?
And this is, of course, Every Breath You Take.
One of the great bands of all time, certainly from the 80s on, one of the great bands of all time. Well done as always. We'll be back. We're live at the Players. We'll wrap the program after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
The Players Championship. Here's a 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Leaderboard update.
What a fun day it's been so far to open up the first round of the Players Championship with some optimal scoring positions and some red numbers. I'm Max Fink with your Players Championship update. This update brought to you by Universal Roof and Contracting and Campione Law. With round one winding down, the players are racing to catch the clubhouse leader, Lucas Glover, who shot a 6 under 66 today. He's joined by former Florida Gator Camilo Villegas, looking to join him in the clubhouse as he is through 14 holes tied up with him. JJ Spawn is also climbing up the leaderboard. He birdied 6. He's got 3 holes left to play, and he sits with Minwoo Lee at 5 under. And Chandler Phillips also just birdied to join them. Tomorrow's weather's looking pretty decent again. Low 60s, high 60s in the morning with some light winds all day, and the high is going to be 71. Rory, Scotter, and Xander, that featured group, will be teeing off tomorrow at 8:24. We've got one more update coming your way. Hang tight. That'll be with you in about 20 minutes. Thanks for listening.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The NASCAR Cup Series will be racing in Las Vegas Sunday for the Pennzoil 400, 5th race on the calendar. Kyle Larson is the defending champion. He's also the betting favorite to take the checkered flag Sunday. He is at plus 350 to repeat as champion, but all eyes on Christopher Bell. He's won the last 3 races, including last week at Phoenix. He is plus 450 to win the Pennzoil 400. Tyler Reddick and William Byron both at plus 700. Denny Hamlin is a plus 1,000. Joey Logano plus 1,200. Hometown favorite Kyle Busch plus 1,600. They'll go 267 laps around the mile-and-a-half track. Earn cash back on your gaming transactions with the GBank Signature Visa Card at vsin.com/GBank. I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Plumbing problem? AC acting up? Septic tank trouble? Don't waste time calling 3 different companies. Just call Duck Duck Rooter. We offer plumbing, septic, and air conditioning services, making it easy for you to work with one trusted company and one simple build. Every department has highly skilled experts trained for the job. For fast, reliable service from a company that does it all the right way, call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com.
Happy New Year from everyone at Nimnick Buick GMC. And as we begin 2025, Nimnick is excited to offer even more choices and better prices for you, ensuring your car buying experience is second to none. If you're wondering where to go for a better buying experience, it's simple. Nobody but Nimnick. Here's to another year of driving forward together. Looking for a better used car shopping experience? Well, you'll find it at Nimnick Buick GMC, Jacksonville's only Car Bravo certified dealership. Now with Car Bravo at Nimnick, you'll get transparent pricing, the best value on your trade, and peace of mind. Now is the best time to shop certified used vehicles and buy with confidence. And man, you get all the makes and models: Honda, Toyota, Kia, Mazda, Ford. That's right, all makes, all models. Trading in your old vehicle? Don't forget who gives you top dollar for your trade. Nobody but Nimnick. So shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com or visit their showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's.
Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
Okay, sports fans, Hicken here. Let's talk skin. I and Beaches Dermatology are reminding you all to wear your sunscreen. Spring is here, and that means more time outside. Grabbing the clubs for your tea time? Bring the screen. Heading out on the boat? Bring the screen. Headed to the beach? Definitely bring the sunscreen. All in all, make sure sunscreen is included in your outdoor activities. If you have any concerns now, give Beaches Dermatology a call. I've been seeing them for years, and my skin thanks me for it. Call today online at beachesdermatology.com.
Youth sports at the YMCA's focus on teamwork, discipline, and building confidence. Our experienced coaches can create a positive and supportive environment where your kids can grow, stay active, and develop a love for sports. Sports like basketball, volleyball, swimming, gymnastics, and even elite skills training. Join the fun and register. Give your kids a chance to be a part of something special. Visit fcymca.org to learn all about youth sports at the Y.
Welcome to AT&T. How can I help?
Hey, I thought I could trust my twins with my phone, but they outnumber me, man.
Whoa, that's a lot of glitter paint. Let's trade
lives.
At AT&T, everyone can trade in an old or glittered iPhone any year, any condition, and save on a new iPhone. Ask how to get iPhone 16 Pro on us. New and existing customers. Savings vary by device and trade-in combinations. Restrictions apply. See att.com for details. AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
Don't miss the Players Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scotty Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com. A symphony of sweat, grit, and glory. Dive into the action and live the moments. For play-by-play, it's 1010XL.
Jags fans, here's your chance to score a trip to Green Bay for round one of draft night. Through the Everbank Draft Night Experience Sweepstakes, one lucky winner and a guest will be there live and in person to see the Jaguars make their first pick. To enter, visit everbank.com/draft by April 4th. That's everbank.com/draft. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry period from 3/3/25 to 4/4/25. For official rules, prize description, odds of winning, and other details, visit everbank.com/draft. Sponsored and administrator, Everbank N.A.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Tired of seeing the signs of aging in the mirror, fine lines, sun damage, redness? They don't have to be part of your future. I'm Dr. Mark Capel, a board-certified dermatologist, and I can help you look and feel your best without invasive surgery or painful treatments. Imagine rejuvenating your skin in a relaxing, comfortable environment with minimal to no downtime. Smooth out fine lines, even skin tone, and restore that youthful glow. Find out how to look and feel your best at Dermagnify.com. Dermagnify.com.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, where we've been on the course of the program today, we've certainly talked a great deal about golf. The Players' Championship one day in the books. The leader as we speak, Lucas Glover, shot 6 under. today. That 66 gives him the lead. Camilo Villegas, the latest I have, through 14 holes, it's also 6 under, and so we'll continue to track those. We've talked a great deal of golf today, and we've certainly enjoyed that.
Rory making a big run, 4 under through 15.
How
so
about
Rory
that?
McIlroy now T5. Very good opening round for the former Players Champion.
And which means they're on 16 now, which is a birdie hole. So we'll see how they wind up doing. So we'll certainly track that for sure. We talked about that. James Gladstone, we heard from him. You heard some of his comments. The general manager of the Jags met with the media after signing 9 players in free agency, and Hays got to talk to some of the players. They also had a press conference today, too, so we talked a great deal about that on the program as well today. Those are sort of our major topics. A little bit of sad news, by the way. John Feinstein, who's been on the program many times, I know John, knew John, passed away today at the age of 69.
Wow.
I think it was unexpected. I don't know John that well, but I know I've had him on the show a few times, and I'll enjoy seeing him when I see him at various events. One of the great sports authors of all time. He wrote 48 books. 23 of those books were New York Times bestsellers. His first book, Season on the Brink, which was after a year of spending a year with the Indiana basketball team under Bob Knight, was number 1 on the New York Times bestseller list for 17 straight weeks.
Wow.
17 straight weeks. It's one of the great sports books of all time. Season on the Brink. He also wrote Good Walk Spoiled. We're out here at golf. It was after spending 1 year on tour, or with the tour players from 94 to 95. That was also number 1 on the New York Times bestseller list as well. So you get the drift. John Feinstein, honestly, one of the great sports authors of all time. Really of all time. And with those 48 books, dead at the age of 69. It's really sad.
That is really sad.
Really sad to hear that. And again, I don't know. I mean, I didn't know him other than, hey, Frank, hey, John, good to see you. But so I don't know if he was ill or whatnot. But they're very surprising. By the way, you would always see him out here.
Oh, yeah.
We'd had a lot of times we had him on. A lot of the times we had him on the show was when he was out here. He and Gary Smith are good buddies, and a lot of times we'd have him on the shows when he was out here with the players. So I hate to see that. So we lost John at the age of 69. By the way, speaking of sports writers, our friend, my good buddy, Dennis Dodd, retired today. Did you see that? Good for him. Good for him. He's a really good guy.
Missed.
He will be missed. He's a very good college sports writer, and obviously Dennis is someone that the SEC Media Days, Matt Hays and I, and Dennis and McMurphy all kind of grabbed dinner and a few cocktails. Almost one night. I'm thinking I'm going to text him when I get off. I just saw it. I'm going to text him when I get off here and say, well, "What about a steak in Atlanta? what are we doing?" So, but he's a good guy too. So I hate to see Dennis Dodd get out of the business as well. Final thoughts from today for you. We'll talk more golf in a bit. You were in front of a lot of those Jaguar free agents. What jumped off the page for you since you got to talk to like most of those guys?
Yeah, I would say in terms of the being down there today, the one that really stood out to me was Robert Hainsey. I think the fact that he's got that connection with Liam Cohen, playing with him last year in Tampa Bay, and to hear him talk about how Liam Cohen was able to kind of adjust from what Liam thought the plan was going to be in terms of how Tampa blocked the run game. Was not what fit them the best, and Liam realized it, and they went to more of a gap scheme, and it paid off, and they had a prolific rushing attack, and so it was cool to hear Robert kind of take us through that process and what that told him about Liam Cohen's acumen as a coach, because he gave him a lot of credit for being a young coach, that he was willing to adapt on the fly and realize that our identity couldn't be this, it had to be that, and he was willing to take us there. I think looking at Jordan Lewis was really impressive in terms of his experience in the league. He was the Good Guy Award winner last year with the Cowboys. But also we've heard Amon-Ra St. Brown talk about him on a podcast about, what a kind of trash talker he is on the field. I think he's going to bring on 2 fronts. I think he's going to really upgrade the secondary. But I also think it's not about just being more physical. I think it's about being mentally tougher as well. And don't get me wrong, Jordan Lewis plays physical for a corner, but I also think he brings what they were looking for, which is that aggressive mindset as well. So fun catching up with 6 of these guys today. And I thought James Gladstone had some really good thoughts as well, particularly about the offensive line. And in terms of out here, I mean, we're just getting warmed up.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
just getting warmed up.
I would
it's
say,
just starting.
I mean, if Rory can stay at 4,
wouldn't that be great?
I mean, then because again, these elite players, they don't normally come out on Thursday and just blitzkrieg the field.
Right.
Normally, it's like, let's get settled, give me an even, 1 under, somewhere in there, and then once I've gotten my bearings. Friday, I'm going to make a move. Saturday, I'm going to make a big move. And then Sunday, I'm going to, kind of cruise in to the winner's circle. So, but if Rory can come in at 4 and have the morning tomorrow where the conditions should be pretty benign, I mean, Rory McIlroy, we may be getting to the weekend with Rory in a fantastic position to win his second Players' Championship.
Let's say hello to Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. Find the coolest cats in town at coolcatsjacks.com.
Rick, James Gladstone met with the media today. What did you make of some of his comments?
Yeah, I love his vocabulary. I do, and I love his expressions. I mean, talking about, once again, raising the floor 3 or 4 different times, the ecosystem.
Yeah.
He's a well-read young man. He's absolutely impressive. But, I mean, you could really look right through it, I thought, today, just how important these next 2 drafts are going to be with 21 overall picks. I mean, he's almost as if he wishes the draft was here tomorrow, not in 42 days. So I thought it was a very informative media session. Of course, I watched it out there at the Players' Championship earlier this afternoon. But, yeah, I'm going to play some of those clips coming up, and I thought it was a good day for Jaguar fans. They got to be excited.
No, I totally agree with you. What's coming up tonight? A little golf, a little football. That's what I'm going to guess.
With apologies to Chief Jay Strongbow, Wahoo McDaniel, and Chief Osceola, I'm about ready to get up on the desk here and do a rain dance. I want Rory McIlroy to give a couple back here to the golf course. All this Rory love, Rory this, Rory that. I'm coming right out and letting you know that I want to see this young man collapse.
Okay, very good. Sounds good. Rick, we appreciate it, buddy.
See ya.
Thank you very much. Rick Ballou goes into the night. Folks, that'll do it for our program. One last day for our program out here at the Players' Championship. We will be here tomorrow. All of our programs will be here tomorrow, all our daytime programs, and we look forward to it one more day out from the Players' Championship. Don't go anywhere, though. Rick Ballou goes into the night right now. You know he's going to have some good stuff for you. We're out of here. For Hays and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.